The following feature presentation is part of the All for Sci-Fi Podcast Network.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
If you only knew the power of the dark side. Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father.
He told me enough. He told me you killed him.
No. I am your father.
I'll be back.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. It's a trap! The needs of the many outweigh
The needs of the few.
for the one.
Do or do not. There is no try.
Live long and prosper.
Get away from her, you bitch!
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me you built a time machine? Out of a DeLorean?
Bye-bye, boys!
Have fun storming the castle.
Think it'll work?
Goodbye.
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Stop saying that!
I see dead people.
So what?
I'm rude.
You said that.
Why so serious?
I volunteer as tribute.
What I do is not up to you.
Chewie. We're home.
I'm one with the Force, the Force is with me. I'm one with the Force, and the Force is with me. I'm one with the Force, and the Force is with me.
Thank you, everybody, for another edition of the All for Sci-Fi Show. I'm your host, Eric Walker, and sitting behind me is
Captain Rickster. How we doing out there, everybody?
having this great Saturday. Today is September 21st, Saturday, and this broadcast is being recorded in Woodland Hills, California. Yay!
Hello.
Today we're going to talk about Ad Astra with Brad Pitt and Tommy Lee Jones in the house. Two powerful actors in the Hollywood community. And also they had Liv Tyler in there.
They did.
Whose father is the Aerosmith singer.
Yep, Steven Tyler.
Yes, yep. And so it has a great cast, and we're going to take the time to discuss this today. So if not now, but further in the show. So at that point, expect a lot of spoilers.
Yeah, really.
We're not here to try to baby everybody and say, oh, the spoilers. Back in the day when I was growing up, that we used to watch shows like At the Movies with Roger Ebert and all of them. So back in the day, they told us what the movies were about. And so what? I mean, we want to know what the movie's about. We'll try not to spoil it for you. But, hey, expect it. We're not going to baby you guys.
That's true.
This week, was, kind of not... It wasn't much of a eventful week for sci-fi news. Although... I have just heard, Captain Rickster,
Yes.
that they're going to reboot Die Hard.
What? Oh my goodness, not another one.
Oh my
Goodness.
Oh, come on, guys.
Think of something original?
And also this week they talked about the other big one that they're going to remake, and that is The Princess Bride.
Again?
Come on,
Oh,
Hollywood.
Man.
Can't you guys, there's enough writers out there to write new stuff.
No kidding.
Haven't we had enough reboots? Look at what has happened this year with all those reboots and remakes. Those are the ones, if you noticed, Hollywood, those are the ones that are not performing well. Like, for instance, the X-Men.
Right.
Then that new one that came out, although that was pretty good, not too bad. But
Even better, though.
yeah, but we've seen all these X-Men movies. We don't need another X-Men movie. We had enough of these already.
Hopefully, since Disney bought Fox, maybe they might make a new X-Men a lot better than they did the old ones.
Right, and there's just certain things you just shouldn't touch. Why The Princess Bride? Why Die Hard?
Yeah, really, huh?
Can all of you out there imagine someone else playing Bruce Willis's role in Die Hard?
Yeah, really.
Ay, ay, ay.
I know, huh? Makes me want to laugh and cry.
Yeah. It's just ridiculous. On brighter news, I heard that Mace Tawani was spotted over in Batu at the Black Spire Outpost yesterday.
Yep.
And he was talking with Chewbacca, and he was talking with Kylo Ren and all those. So he was spotted
Yes, he was.
at Galaxy's Edge, over here, Galaxy's Edge West. So I hear there's going to be videos online of that happening.
Yes.
Soon. But yeah, come on, man. Stop the reboots, stop the remakes. Hollywood, there is enough writers to write something new and something original. You don't need to keep going on and on and on and on.
That's definitely true.
But there are some pretty good Netflix shows out there coming in October and also in September. There's a lot of really good releases coming out. So I'm sure all of you remember Solo is coming out. What else? Thor Ragnarok is going to be released again on Netflix.
Oh yeah, the movie, but not the TV show.
Yeah, we're talking about some of the newer sci-fi stuff that we all could watch on Netflix in September and October. Under the Skin is another one. V for Vendetta, we've all seen that. Hellboy.
I don't know about that.
I mentioned Solo. Chappie. I never saw Chappie.
I didn't either.
Has anybody online saw that sci-fi movie Chappie? You got Ex Machina, Snowpiercer.
Ex Machina is a comic book series.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse just came out.
That's good.
And the movie we reviewed, I Am Mother, is out. Anyway, we're going to also be talking about, and also Solo, and then I waited to announce this last, but this already came out as well. Star Wars The Last Jedi is out.
Yep.
So I don't think too many people are going to be watching that one. No. So people don't seem to like it. There were quite a few scenes in The Last Jedi that I really liked. I know everybody didn't like what they did with Luke.
Yeah, that's true.
And I didn't like that either. That part of the story I thought was written lazy, and I mentioned that before on the podcast. It's as though you could have went so many different ways with Star Wars The Last Jedi, but it just felt like that was the easy way out.
Right.
And I know that George Lucas originally wanted Luke Skywalker to become like old Ben was later, but he didn't become old Ben.
No,
who was helping somebody out. He became this whiny character who kind of served no purpose and was so upset with the Jedi powers that he had that he got rid of the powers. I mean, it was just very weak writing, in my opinion.
Very true.
Marcel says maybe The Rock or Channing Tatum for Die Hard. No, I think that you should just leave Die Hard alone.
Yeah.
Forget it, guys.
That's a classic movie.
The Princess Bride you need to leave alone, too.
Yeah, that was another classic, too. Because you can't get... Andre the Giant was in that one. Who's gonna take over his spot?
Good point.
You know?
Yeah. I mean,
really.
Leave Die Hard alone. And speaking of that was around the time I worked in the movie theater, since we brought this up. Was around the time the Die Hard came out.
Well, that was 100 years ago.
Yeah, well, that goes to show you how long that was.
No kidding.
Now, obviously, I have to mention this, guys, and we do have a sponsor of All for Sci-Fi, and that is Order 66 Toys.
Yes.
And Order 66 Toys is the nation's largest Star Wars toy store.
Yes, it is.
I can't say they're the first, probably not, but they're the world's largest, and they're in the Dallas area. So if anybody of you guys listening right now that live in Dallas, they're in a suburb called Allen, Texas, and they're getting ready to make a big move. So next month they're going to be at a bigger location, but it's just down the street.
Right.
But Order 66 Toys, go over to Order 66 Toys and join. Click follow them because every Friday night They have the best Friday night live sales. You're gonna on vintage Star Wars and a modern Star Wars. They have the best toys, and there's some of them are behind us here, right here. You see some of my Star Wars collection behind me. I mean, at great prices too. And not only that, but Order 66 Toys is also sponsored by the largest community of Star Wars collectors in the world. They're called the Community of Star Wars Collectors. We call them the CSWC. And Steve Spolter over there, and here's their, look at this, great.
Nice pack.
That's an awesome, awesome.
Nice.
Community, so go over there too and join a community of Star Wars collectors, because we like to, they have a bunch of giveaways and stuff, and they have little contests and stuff where you could get Star Wars toys, and they're really great people. We're all family now. The CSWC and Order 66, and I feel humbled and grateful that Order 66 Toys is helping sponsor this show. So make sure you go there and follow them, and go listen to some of the Friday night sales, because you might get a great. And yesterday, when we were over in Galaxy's Edge, I got this new. Look at that.
New pen. Yes.
Skywalking through Galaxy's Edge. And this pen was made by Sarah Woloski, and Sarah and Richard have the Skywalking Through Neverland podcast, and check them out. Skywalking Through Neverland. They have a great podcast. They do not just Star Wars stuff, but they do Disney. That's why it's Skywalking Through Neverland. What a great title.
Oh, yes.
And they're great people, and they're friends of mine as well. Richard directed the Dare to Dream music video.
Oh, cool.
So we're going to talk about Ad Astra in a minute, so calm down, everybody. But we're still going over what's going on with Hollywood, and not much going on news-wise this week. But stop coming up with ideas to reboot stuff.
Yeah, really.
Right. And I almost forgot to mention this. And Virginia would probably tell me I'm fired again if I don't mention this, Captain Rickster.
Yeah, right.
There is a petition out. I have a petition that I need everybody to sign.
Yes.
I discovered that because in Norway, Disney Plus, they're doing a preview right now. Unlucky us here in the U.S., we don't get that preview.
Yeah, I know, huh?
In Norway, they actually have Disney Plus has already started, which is awesome, which is great. So because of that, we're able to look at everything that's on Disney Plus, and they got a lot of stuff.
Yes.
It is, wow,
Jam-packed.
This is a great place. It's just jam-packed. But the bad news is, when they listed all the Star Wars stuff that they have there, Captain Rickster,
yes,
the Ewok movies are not there.
What?
Caravan of Courage.
Wow.
And Ewoks: A Battle for Endor.
Somebody's blowing it.
And I don't know if it's because it's a preview stage or not, but they didn't have The Mandalorian on there, Captain Rickster, but that's a show that's not supposed to come out anyway until November 12th.
Right.
So none of the original programming was on there anyway, but they should for sure have.
Oh, the Ewok event.
They had all the other Star Wars stuff there. They had so much Star Wars stuff there, Captain Rickster.
Mm-hmm.
They had even the Lego produced movies, Star Wars movies. They had even the web series. They had on the web. They have on StarWars.com. They have the Forces of Destiny web show. They had those shorts on there.
Wow.
So why the hell do you not have
Ewoks on there?
The Ewok movies on there.
Really?
So, and at D23 at the Disney Plus Expo, Kathleen Kennedy, when she came out and discussed Disney Plus, she said that Disney Plus is going to be the home to all of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Everything Star Wars, the official home to everything Star Wars. Well, the Ewok movies, no disrespect, Miss Kathleen Kennedy, but the Ewok movies were produced by your company. They're Lucasfilm Productions, and George Lucas wrote the stories. So why are they not there?
Yeah, really.
So
together, people.
So what I've done is I've started a petition.
Yep.
We need everybody's help. We need all of you that watch these shows. If you're watching this show live right now or later when we post the video, or you're listening to this podcast, we need you to go to change.org, and I'm posting the link right now. So here comes the link. So here it is. I'm going to pin it. So I need everybody to go to this link and click on the petition and tell everybody that the Ewok movies need to be put on Disney Plus, the home of all of Star Wars.
Right.
Right now, we've done a great job. We're up to, over 500 signatures already?
Good.
So I'm so humbled. I love you guys.
Yes.
And I mean it from my heart. This is...
Oh, no, he's getting emotional. He's going to cry. You can't do that. Yeah, but they are great movies. You haven't had a chance to see them, you should try to either rent them or buy them on Amazon. They're actually great movies to watch.
Anyway, let's move on.
Yes.
Okay, let's anyway do that. Let's now let me get emotional. On a lighter note, we went to Galaxy's Edge yesterday.
Yes, we
and
did.
Mace does live.
Yes, he does.
Hello. And I got, of course, Virginia, you're going to scream at me, but...
Yes, you are. She is.
So, but when I'm at Galaxy's Edge, and we're going to have some videos of this coming up here soon, so we'll be posting those. Mace has finally made it off Endor. He does live, like you said, Eddie.
Yes, he does.
And while I was there, I got some Imperial credentials.
Yes.
So, and over here... This part, there's a part that opens up here. Let me show you. This part opens up, so I'll go ahead and take a picture of me in the Mace costume and put the photo there, so Mace Tawani has some Imperial credits.
Yes.
And no, credentials, not credits.
Credentials.
Yeah, credits are what they use in the land for money, but Mace Tawani has some Imperial credentials. So I got that, and while I was there, I couldn't resist this. When I was in Olga's Cantina, I had to have the Yub Nub drink.
Yep.
And when you have the Yub Nub drink, you get this wonderful Ewok mug. It's really heavy, dude.
Yeah,
Here, hold
yes.
it. Have you held it?
Yes,
This is really
heavy.
It's really
well
heavy.
made,
Wow.
too.
Oh, it is. So that was well worth it. And Richard Wolosky, who directed the Dare to Dream video, I actually dressed up as Mace again, and I went all over the park, and I actually interacted with Chewie, some of the cast members, the Stormtroopers, and Kylo Ren, and I walked all around the park dressed as Mace Tawani. So we're gonna have that. We're gonna keep that Mace Lives, that hashtag going, Eddie Medina and Richard Wolosky. And everybody out there. So everybody remember the hashtag Mace Lives.
Yes.
So we're going to have those videos. We're going to start popping those up soon. But while I was there, I went back to Savi's workshop.
Yes, Mace had to have his laser again, his lightsaber.
And this is the power and control.
He's definitely in control.
Look at this bad boy.
Mm-hmm. Purring like a kitten.
Well, yeah. I picked and of course I picked the purple for Mace Windu, but this is the power and control one. Let me put it up here so you guys can see it, and I'll turn it around. You guys see the whole design. And I chose all these different ones that had a lot of red in it, so you notice all the red stuff in it.
Yes.
So, uh-oh, Captain Rickster, look out!
Hit me with it. Gonna try to cut me up. Make sausage out of me.
No, I'm not. So there you have it, and wow. So that's added to my collection now. And by the way,
need one more.
We know we need one more, and we have to apologize to everybody because we've been saying there's 5.
Actually, there's 4.
There's 4. There's only 4. So now I have 3 of the 3 of them. So I have 3 of them now. I only need 1 more. So also back on the hunt for the Kyber crystals, and I showed you guys this last week. Okay, to have a complete set, you need, of course, there's 6 colors, but that's not all.
No, it's not.
They have 17 different messages that play in the holocrons. There's behind Captain Richter. There's a Sith holocron and a Jedi holocron.
Yep.
And they all these crystals. When you put them, they work for the lightsabers, but when you put them in the holocrons, they play different messages. Whether it's from Mace Windu or Obi-Wan Kenobi or Yoda or Darth Vader. The reds, of course, have Darth Vader, Darth Maul, Count Dooku, and all of them. Don't fall for it, everybody. Don't try to collect all those. Just buy 17 of them and buy 3. I'll tell you the order. You're gonna buy 2 purples, 2 blue, 3 green, and then I think it's 6. If that adds up to 17, 6 reds, and that's all you need. And don't worry about getting duplicates because I have a video on YouTube that I put up there. So if you go to the All for Sci-Fi YouTube channel, and by the way, I recommend everybody subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, because we're gonna have all these videos that I keep talking about. We're gonna slowly, and I have already released the first video, which is with this bad boy.
Yep.
This is called an RFID. It's an RFID reader and writer. So, and I demonstrated this on last week's show, and so I'm not going to take the time to do it here. Just go watch the video and you'll see me do it. But only buy 17. Don't fall for the trap and keep buying them and getting duplicates and then try to find people online to trade them with, because you can just buy this machine for like 20, 30 bucks online. I recommend eBay. And also, if you get it on eBay, make sure you pick a USA store, so you know it's in the USA. Check that button so you don't wait for a month for it to come from China.
Yeah, really.
And not that it's bad to buy from China. You just wait a month. So do that, order it, and then you could basically write over the other ones. And I demonstrate that in the music video, so you can see me change it. So I have no duplicates. So that's pretty awesome.
Yes.
So, yeah, so make sure you go to our YouTube channel and you could watch this video. I did a nice little video for everybody on how to change these Kyber crystals. So that's going to be a lot of fun for everybody, and so do that. Oh, yeah, while we were at Disneyland, we met a guy that writes all these books about Disneyland. He's really about the Disneyland's history and all the culture. His name is Russell, and
all the hidden secrets.
All the hidden secrets at Disneyland, and it's a very rich book he wrote.
Yeah.
I need to get his full name, so remind me, Captain Richter, to ask Richard his full contact information, because I'm sure some of you people online are definitely interested in reading about Disneyland and all the secrets that are there. And Russell's a great guy. We met him and his daughter there and her friend, and it was pretty awesome. It was great.
We had a great evening that night too, and the food there was awesome.
Right.
Wow, especially the ribs.
Oh yeah, the food at Disney
Yummy.
The Kadoo ribs are called.
Yes, Kadoo ribs. Right.
But the Kadoo ribs, I had them the time before. They're awesome. This time I had Endorian, Yip Nub, or
Yip
no,
Nub.
Yip.
Yip
Yeah.
Nubs, yeah,
I almost said a bad word. This is a PJ show.
That's definitely true.
Sorry, guys. Endorian Yip Nub, and it's kind of like a chicken that's has batter on it. I didn't like that part of it, but the mashed potato and gravies were great as well.
Also, the vegetables were in the mashed potatoes too.
Oh, the food.
Those were good.
They really make an effort. If you guys have not been to Galaxy's Edge, the new Star Wars land, go to the Disneyland, either in Florida or the one in Florida just opened in August. So people on the East Coast go to the Florida one, or if you're here in California, go to it. They made a big effort to make sure that all the food really tastes like something you've never eaten here. Like it's really from a different planet.
Definitely true.
So the spices and the flavors is like nothing you've ever had.
That's definitely true. What's that wrap called?
Ronto wrap.
Ronto wrap. That Ronto wrap is good too.
It is.
It tastes good. It's out of this world, but it had a taste of all of its own. You know, I mean, it's nothing that you would ever taste out here on the regular streets. So if you go in there, you're like in a different world. So you're eating something totally different.
It is, and they do have, and it takes place on the planet Batu, and it's called the Black Spire Outpost.
Yep.
and it's around the current time. So it's around the time of Last Jedi and this new movie, Rise of Skywalker.
Right.
You do see Chewie there, but other than Chewie, you see Rey, and you see the First Order stormtroopers, of course, and Kylo Ren.
Yep.
And the backstory is that the First Order is looking for a rebel spy that it came there to the outpost.
And
her name is Vi, by the way.
And she's running around all over the place.
She is too. There's a rebel spy there named Vi, and that rebel spy is in a new book that was written about. I forgot the lady's name, but we need to post that as well and get the information. That's a good book too.
Yes.
Dawson, I think her name was.
Something like that. Yeah. I think Richard and them know who she was.
Yeah. That's true.
Yep.
That's true. They're good friends. They just interviewed her.
Yes,
on Skywalking Through Neverland. If you check out that podcast, they just interviewed the lady who wrote the Black Spire Outpost novel and talks about Vi.
If you go, or when you do go, there's only one ride right at this moment. There's an awesome ride coming up in January.
The Rise of the Resistance.
It's supposed to be better than the run right now for the, what's that one called?
Smuggler's Run.
Smuggler's Run, which is also good. Don't get me wrong. It's actually a great ride.
It is.
Have a lot of fun trying to fly the ship and all that stuff. Just trying to run into everything.
Yeah, like I did when I was a pilot.
Yes. If you're a gunner like me, I got a couple of good scores. You know.
Yep.
We got two canisters instead of one like we did last time.
Yeah, yesterday when we were there at the Galaxy's Edge, we rode Smuggler's Run.
Yes, we did.
I was a pilot again. Mace Tawani was a pilot, and Captain Rickster was a gunner. Yeah, he really knows how to shoot.
You got that right.
And we're trying to get coaxium for Hondo Onaka, who owns Hondo Onaka Transports. And Chewbacca apparently needs pilots to pilot the Millennium Falcon.
Yep.
And bring it back safely. Of course, we damaged it, and Chewie got mad.
Yeah, real mad. He tried to rip off someone's arm a minute when we were there.
Yeah, he did try to rip off someone's arm.
Yes,
that's right.
Right. But he was happy with the two canisters we got for him.
He was. And he was nice to Mace Tawani, by the way.
Yes, he was.
He said he didn't see Sindel Tawani back to me in his native language. And it was fun. It was just a great experience. I can't wait to share these videos with you guys. You're going to love it because it was cool because I was kind of getting back in character a little bit. Remembering the past a little, I digress. But anyway, let's take a moment to talk about the new merchandise. If you're watching on Facebook Live now, you see our new All 4 Sci-Fi hats. I'm wearing one, and Captain Rickster's wearing one. Yep. And we also have shirts coming by Dante, which has more of the whole logo on it. And Captain Rickster and I, when we go to events, we actually, the same thing that's on this hat, we actually have on polo shirts.
Right. Which is actually cool.
On the left side above our chest, left chest, we have the same logo that's on here on our polo shirts, and we look pretty fly, I must say.
Oh yes, we did.
Well,
what can we say, you know?
Anyway, let's go ahead and take the time to switch gears and the main topic of today's show, talking about the new sci-fi movie Ad Astra.
Yep.
I do what I do because of my dad. He gave his life for the pursuit of knowledge. Because up there is where our story's going to be told.
This is a top-secret psychological evaluation. Please describe your current emotional state.
I'm steady, calm, ready to do my job to the best of my abilities. I will remain calm. I will remain focused.
You look just like your dad there.
He was the first man to the outer solar system. He was a pioneer. But there was much more to him than that.
Please, state your mission objective.
called antimatter reaction, which threatens our entire solar system.
We're approaching Mars.
Spacecom believes my father's responsible.
We're doing big things up here, real big.
What did he find out there in the abyss?
The enemy up here is not a person or a thing. It's the endless void.
The world awaits our discovery, my son.
Ad Astra
Yep.
with Brad Pitt, Tommy Lee Jones, Liv Tyler, and a few others. It's
There were some good heavyweights in there.
there,
That was for sure.
there was, but you know what?
I know. Yeah, it was a sleeper. The music it puts you in there. It's like it.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is the show over yet?
No, we're still in the middle. Go back to sleep.
Oh,
Okay.
should I go back to sleep now?
Yeah. But it was like the music. If you
Go
have some
ahead.
good rest, otherwise that music is gonna put you right to sleep. Oh my goodness.
This was a snore fest, and I'm very, very disappointed.
Yes.
Not.
The
acting was good. Yes, the acting was good. The photography was great. The CGI special effects was right on point.
Yep.
Sound design was great. Everything was so good, but I almost said a bad word. What blew this movie was the music.
That's
and he
right.
said it. Whoever wrote this music, it was like listening to, back in the old days when they had those New Age channels and they would play New Age music to help you go to sleep to.
Yeah, well, that was one of them. Oh my goodness.
This was, and it's a shame because this would have been a much better movie if they got someone like James Horner, Alan Silvestri, who did Back to the Future. Of course, James Horner did the Star Trek movies. Even some of the new guys that are doing some of the new Star Wars stuff. If they got those guys, because I know John Williams doesn't. We could say John Williams, of course, would have been great, but he's kind of retired.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to do any more movies, so that's why I'm not bringing him up. But even those guys that are doing the new scores for the new Star Wars stuff, those guys are fabulous.
Oh, of course they are. But this one here, I mean, don't get us wrong. This was a great movie because of the acting and the people who are in it. It's just the musical puts you sound asleep. I mean, I haven't slept so good in my life. I probably watched the first 30 minutes of it, and that's when I finally just dozed off by accident, Normally I don't doze off on a movie, but this one here is like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, anyway, Ad Astra had a lot going for it,
Yes,
and
it
it's
did.
really a big disappointment.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about the story a little bit. So here come the spoilers. Okay, in the movie, basically what happens is the lead character, played by Brad Pitt,
Right.
his father is named Clifford McBride, and his father's played by Tommy Lee Jones.
Right.
Okay, he goes on this big mission into space and kind of disappears.
After 16 years.
No, it was it was longer. It was like 30 years or something like that.
Well, he was up in the air for 30 years, but they lost contact. I don't know.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
They lost contact with only 16 years later, something like that.
Right. So basically, what happens is they lost contact, and then suddenly these surges start happening.
Yeah.
And they kind of mess up things. It's like a
It cuts all the electrical power out.
Yeah, it's like an EM pulse thing going off, and it's kind of messing up everything.
Yep.
So, and it's kind of, if we're not careful, could destroy the whole fabric and destroy the whole universe.
Right.
So they're very scared about all that stuff, and Brad Pitt's character, Roy McBride, finds out that he was lied to, that his father really is alive.
Right.
And he's working on this secret Lima project. And who was the other main actor that was in it? Donald Sutherland. Yes.
Donald Sutherland was in that one, yes.
A close friend of his father, Donald Sutherland, who had a big fight with his father, and ends up coming and enlisting Brad Pitt's character to try to see because they lost contact with him, and he won't reply back to them.
Right.
So they think that if they try to use Brad Pitt to contact his dad, with no intention on having him do the mission. They want to do it behind his back. So they send Brad to Mars to try to send out messages to, I guess they think his father's around Neptune.
Right, yeah.
So, I mean, think about this, guys. This movie has so much going for it. We're talking about all these characters, and they're on the moon, and then they're on Mars, and then Brad Pitt has to go, the father's around Neptune. So what happens is Brad Pitt sneaks his way onto
the
spaceship that's going to try to kill his dad.
Right.
And blow up and stop the mission. And even though they think that Brad Pitt won't do it because it's his father.
His father, yeah.
So he ends up sneaking on board, and then they try to kill him.
Yeah.
So he ends up
killing. Well, actually, he didn't kill him.
He didn't try to. They kind of killed themselves when they were fighting. They try to take him out, and there's a fight scene that happens. And anyway, he ends up only being. The rest of them die.
Right.
They accidentally set it off where they set something off which grabbed all the oxygen.
Right.
And Brad happened to be in a spacesuit, so he was okay.
Right.
This movie had so much going for it. Believe me, I was really, really, really rooting for this film. I love Brad Pitt. He's a great actor. The guy who directed this, James Gray, I hope you watch this podcast. I want to shout out to you. Next time you do a movie, don't pick the people you pick to do the music. I'm a musician. I'm not asking you to pick me. I could have rescored this movie in my sleep and did a better job.
Yeah, no kidding. And I'm not even a musician, and I could have done a better job.
Yeah, and that really blew this movie for me. Because Brad Pitt's in it, because the special effects are good, because it has a high value of production, I'm going to go ahead and give this movie 3 stars.
Ooh.
So on our rating scale of 3 to 5, if it's 3 or below, you do not have to go. So I'm not going to recommend anybody go see this movie in a movie theater, but I gave you 3 stars. If it wasn't because of the good acting and good CGI special effects and all that stuff, I probably would have given it a 2.
I'm lucky to give it a 2.75 because...
That's what you're giving it, 2.75?
Because it's the music. I mean, everybody was great. It's just the music will put you to sleep. I'm sorry, people. It's something. I mean, if you want to go watch it, go ahead.
Go ahead.
You go ahead and watch it. But if not, wait till it comes out on DVD or Blu-ray or stream, whatever, and then watch it and use it for a late night movie, and you can just fall asleep.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean,
guys.
I've never fallen asleep in a movie before, and not until I had this one today. I mean, this is the first I've ever had to sleep in a movie. I go,
it's the music, because it's that old new age stuff they played at night on some radio stations. Like in LA, they had something called The Wave, and I think they had those stations too in other cities.
Yeah.
But they played that. It's that repetitive, slow tempo.
Really slow. I mean, wow.
I mean, it's just ridiculous, guys. It
is.
And it went nowhere. It didn't have any great theme or anything, that stood out in any of the music.
And I don't really give movies a bad rap, but because I love movies and I love all types of movies.
Yeah, we know you.
But this one here, I'm sorry to say, this is a sleeper for the whole year.
So sorry guys, it's 3 stars. So 3 stars or below, you don't have to go.
It's up to you, people.
It's up to you guys. I'm going to leave it in your hands. And some ladies might want to go because they like Brad Pitt.
That'd be the only reason why they would go to see Brad Pitt in the movie, because it's actually really good.
Sorry guys, that's my take on it.
And mine
had
too.
A lot of potential. And we're not harsh critics. We give things a chance.
Oh yes, we do.
So that's where we're going to be. That's where we're going to stay on it. And that's about it, really. We went and saw it, and later I'll have a written review pretty much saying that and some other stuff if you want to check that out. You could always find us if you have any comments or you have any suggestions for future episodes or just want to drop a note and say hi. You could always go to our official website, which is allforsci-fi.com. That's ALLFORSCI, one word, allforsci-fi.com. Click our contact page. Throw us a note, tell us you hate us or love us, and if you have any suggestions, that's fine as well. It's a cool website. It's a cool website.
Yes,
I like going on it because I watch some of the trailers because we're always adding the new trailers that come out. We're always adding content, so there's lots of stuff that we release there. Yes. I'm going to go ahead and put the petition up there as well if you guys want to tell anybody about the petition. So that's it. Go to that. And also, don't forget to like us here on Facebook at All for Sci-Fi. And the links are all been put up. And you could also go check out my music if you want as well. And there are still, since Virginia's mentioned it, there are still some Ewok shirts available.
Yes.
From the cast and crew. There's still some available. You could go check out.
Rare shirts.
They're very rare Ewok shirts from the Ewok movie. So go ahead and check those out at ericwalkermusic.com. And also, another big shout out to all of our friends there at Order 66 Toys. Make sure you go to Order 66 Toys on Facebook, follow them that way, and click the button so you're notified when they go on live on their Friday night specials because you're going to want to take advantage of that. Hey, if you also want to be a part of the Star Wars collecting community, also check out the community of Star Wars collectors.
Yes.
Mr. Steve Spoltor there is in the family there. They're my family now, so check them out as well. They're the largest Facebook collecting group, and all good people there. And hey, Steve Spoltor, how do you come online right when I'm talking about you? Hey,
yeah,
Steve.
Really, huh?
Something magic in the air. So
gotta be.
Anyway, it was a wonderful show today. Be sure to check out the edited version of this because we'll chop out some of this other stuff, how I got emotional.
Yes.
Sorry, guys. I let my emotions get to me sometimes. That's the kind of guy I am.
That's right.
And I'm not afraid to cry or get emotional about something if I feel strongly about something.
Especially the Ewok movies. Which we
I worked very hard. Those were the hardest jobs I ever had in my life, especially Caravan of Courage. I worked every single day. I was the only actor that worked every single day, and even the last day, I was the only actor on set.
Right.
So I worked very, very hard on those movies. And you know what? I do understand some people don't like them. It's okay.
Right.
I have no problem if you don't like them. There's scenes in that movie I don't like. So that's not a problem. But they are good family films. They're good for children. They're,
right.
You want... And I know this because, of course I shared them with my nieces and nephews, my sister's kids. But here recently, some of those nieces and nephews that have grown up, they have children, right?
Yes, they
so
do.
Here we are, a third generation down, and my niece Tina was telling me, wow, they love that movie. I put it on and they'd be quiet. They're quiet the entire time and they watch it. They don't do that for very many movies, she told me.
And then they saw that great uncle on the TV film.
I don't know all that, but... They're good movies. I don't care what anybody says. And yes, people did like them in the 80s when they came out. They are a little dated. They do like something from the 80s. That if you like the 80s, I love the 80s. Yeah, and they were award winning. They were nominated. The first one, not the second one, but the first one was nominated for 2 Emmys and won one of them.
Right.
And I also won a special award from the Academy. So for acting, a special award I was given. Hey guys, I don't care. They're great movies. So please sign the petition. Please let all your friends know. I'm only asking you to sign it and get 10 friends to sign it. But every time you do that, ask those 10 friends to have 10 more friends do it. Because it's a domino effect.
Right.
If you there's 500 people that have signed it now. If they get 10 friends, that's 5,000.
Right.
If those friends get 10 friends, that's from 5,000 to 50. And then it goes from 50 to 500,000 quickly. It could happen fast.
Yep.
And if you guys get 500,000, at least 500,000 signatures, I'm going to show up at Lucasfilm dressed as Mace Tawani. I'm not going to ambush them, but I'm going to show up there and I'm going to ask to meet Kathleen Kennedy and I'm going to say, and I'll be very respectful to her. I say, Mrs. Kennedy, how are you? By the way, I love everything that's going on. Not everything, but
Right.
I love, for the most part, Star Wars is huge. I love a lot of the stuff you guys are doing. Very respectfully, you said that this is the home, Disney Plus is the home to all of Star Wars. So
Put the Ewoks on.
why aren't the Ewok movies on there? You produced them.
Right.
Your company produced them. Anyway, enough. I've said too much. Everybody, I want you to have a safe week coming up.
Yep.
Stay blessed. And make sure we're all nice to each other.
And stay tuned in to what happens next week.
What happens next week. But let's all be nice to each other. Let's not be mean to each other on Facebook either. This is not a place for everybody to unload on each other. We should all treat each other with compassion and kindness. Like my father always told me, if you ain't got something nice to say, don't say it at all. And I know a lot of people had their parents tell them that.
Yep.
If you don't got something that's nice to say, don't say it. All right. Everybody, take care. It's been a great week. I'm Eric Walker for All for Sci-Fi.
And I'm Captain Rexer, so have a great week.
You too, everybody. God bless. All the music on today's episode was composed and written by Eric Walker. To learn more about Eric's music, please visit ericwalkermusic.com.